Welcome to the channel, where the world unfolds one story at a time. From the hidden forces shaping global politics to the breakthroughs transforming science, technology, and space, we break down complex ideas into stories that are clear, engaging, and thought-provoking. Here, history connects with today's headlines, and the biggest events in our world become stories you can truly understand. So if you're curious about the world and the forces shaping our future, you're in the right place, and buckle up. In 2023, the CEO of one of the most powerful tech companies in the world was suddenly fired. No warning, no explanation, just a short video call, and he was out. But then something unbelievable happened. Within 5 days, the entire company revolted. The board collapsed, and the man they tried to remove returned even more powerful than before. This is the story of OpenAI, the company building technology that could transform humanity, or potentially destroy it. Today, OpenAI sits at the center of the biggest technological revolution in decades. Its product, ChatGPT, exploded across the internet and reached 100 million users faster than any app in history. But behind the scenes, the company's history is full of power struggles, broken promises, and a race to build something many scientists believe could become more intelligent than humans themselves. To understand how we got here, we need to go back to the beginning. Sam Altman wasn't supposed to be the face of artificial intelligence. He was just a college student studying computer science at Stanford. But like many Silicon Valley legends, he dropped out. His first startup was a location-sharing app called Looped, created before smartphones even had app stores. The timing was terrible. The company struggled for years. Altman worked obsessively, surviving on junk food and barely sleeping. At one point, his diet was so poor, he actually developed scurvy, a disease sailors used to get in the 1700s. But Altman had something far more valuable than success. He had connections. He joined the very first class of Y Combinator, the startup accelerator that helped launch companies like Airbnb and Dropbox. Its founder, Paul Graham, quickly noticed something unusual about Altman. He once said, "Sam is extremely good at becoming powerful." And within a few years, that prediction came true. At just 30 years old, Sam Altman became president of Y Combinator, placing him at the center of Silicon Valley's most powerful network. But his attention was already turning towards something much bigger: artificial intelligence. Around 2015, a growing number of tech leaders were starting to worry about AI. One of the most vocal was Elon Musk. He believed artificial intelligence could become humanity's greatest threat. According to Musk, technology was advancing so quickly that it could one day surpass human intelligence. And the biggest concern? Almost all the world's top AI researchers were working at Google. That meant one company had enormous influence over a technology that could reshape civilization. So Musk started asking a question. What if someone built a rival AI lab? One that would develop artificial intelligence openly and safely? That idea led to a private dinner in 2015. 10 powerful figures from the tech world gathered to discuss the future of AI. Among them were Elon Musk, Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, and AI researcher Ilya Sutskever. By the end of that meeting, they had a plan. They would build a new organization, one designed to create artificial general intelligence, or AGI, an AI capable of performing any intellectual task a human can do. And they would do it for the benefit of all humanity. The organization was called OpenAI. When OpenAI first started, it didn't look like the future of technology. There was no headquarters. The team worked out of Greg Brockman's apartment, engineers coding on couches, kitchen counters, even beds. But their missions sounded almost philosophical. OpenAI would be a non-profit. Instead of maximizing profit, they would develop AI responsibly and share their research with the world. That's where the name came from. OpenAI. The goal was simple: build artificial intelligence so powerful it could solve humanity's biggest problems, from disease to poverty. But the team also knew the risks. Some researchers believed the first super-intelligent machine could be the last invention humanity ever needs to make, because once machines become smarter than humans, they might start designing even better machines themselves. And at that point, human control could disappear. For decades, AI progress had been slow. Programs could master individual tasks, like playing chess, but they couldn't do anything else. Then in 2017, a group of researchers at Google published a paper with an unusual title, Attention is All You Need. Inside, it was a new AI architecture called the Transformer. Unlike previous systems, transformers could learn from massive amounts of unstructured data, like the entire internet. Instead of training an AI to do one specific task, you could train it on everything humans had ever written online. Suddenly, AI could answer questions, write stories, generate code, and hold conversations. OpenAI quickly realized the potential. They built a new series of models based on this architecture. They called them GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformers, and progress accelerated dramatically. But at the same time, the company's philosophy began to change. Originally, OpenAI promised to release its technology openly, but when the company created GPT-2, executives hesitated. They believed the model was powerful enough to generate convincing fake articles, spam campaigns, or misinformation. So for the first time, OpenAI did something unexpected. They refused to release the full model publicly. For critics, it was a warning sign. The company that promised openness was becoming increasingly secretive, and bigger changes were coming. Behind the scenes, there had been disagreements about leadership and the company's direction, and Musk took his funding with him. That created a serious problem. Training advanced AI models requires enormous computing power, and computing power costs billions of dollars. To survive, OpenAI made a controversial decision. They restructured from a non-profit into a for-profit company. Soon after, Microsoft invested $1 billion into the project. The organization that once positioned itself as an alternative to big tech was now deeply partnered with one of the world's largest tech corporations. But the biggest moment was still ahead. On November 30th, 2022, Sam Altman posted a simple message online. Today, we launched ChatGPT. There was no marketing campaign, no big event. Most employees thought maybe 100,000 people would try it in the first week. Instead, the entire internet discovered it. Within 2 months, ChatGPT reached 100 million users, faster than Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok ever had. Suddenly, AI wasn't just a research project. It was everywhere. Students were using it to write essays. Programmers used it to generate code. Businesses started integrating it into their workflows. And tech companies around the world scrambled to build their own AI models. The AI arms race had officially begun. Then came one of the strangest corporate events in Silicon Valley history. November 17th, 2023. Sam Altman received a message asking him to join a video call. On the call was OpenAI's board of directors. They informed him he was being removed as CEO immediately. The official explanation: the board said Altman had not been consistently honest with them. But the details were vague, and the reaction was explosive. Within hours, OpenAI employees began rebelling. Co-founder Greg Brockman resigned in protest. Then staff members drafted a letter demanding Altman's return. Nearly every employee signed it. Over 700 people threatened to quit if the board didn't reverse its decision. Meanwhile, Microsoft announced something dramatic. If OpenAI collapsed, they would hire Altman, along with any OpenAI employees who wanted to join him. The board suddenly had a crisis, and then things got even worse. One of the board members who helped fire Altman changed sides. He signed the employee petition. The coup had failed. 5 days after being fired, Sam Altman returned as CEO, and the board members who removed him were gone. Today, OpenAI is valued at hundreds of billions of dollars. It sits at the center of a global AI race involving Microsoft, Google, Meta, China, and dozens of new startups. Every breakthrough pushes the technology further. AI can now generate images, write software, create videos, and hold conversations almost indistinguishable from humans. Some people believe this technology will solve humanity's greatest problems. Others believe it could become one of the most dangerous inventions ever created. Artificial intelligence is advancing faster than almost anyone predicted. Entire industries could change. Millions of jobs could disappear. New economies might emerge. And the companies building these systems will shape the future of civilization. But here's the real question. Will AI become humanity's greatest tool, or the one invention we lose control of? Because the truth is, no one knows, and the race has only just begun.